Hanging with Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, we are hanging out with you on 97.3 ESPN, streaming live on YouTube at Josh Hennig at 97.3 ESPN, the Dr. Squatch Virtual Studios. And joining us right now to get more into what I am calling the biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history. Both men are undefeated. And joining us right now is one half of that major main event on Saturday, June 13th, the Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City is Holy Spirit high school graduate. He is back with us here on 97.3 ESPN, Josh Popper. Josh, how you doing today?
What's up, everybody? What's up, Josh? I'm feeling great, man. I appreciate you having me on the show.
I'm glad to have you back on. So, obviously we've talked a couple times and you've been kind of working your way through this system of building up your resume as a heavyweight fighter. So before we get into this specific matchup, talk to the audience a little bit about, when you and I first talked a couple of years ago to now, what has kind of been the evolution for you from your homecoming to Atlantic City to now your third time fighting in Atlantic City?
Yeah, man, I feel like it's been just that. It's been me evolving. I listen to the guidance of my team. It's been me, trying to climb through the ranks, focusing on the guy that's put in front of me. And this time it's another local kid, another South Jersey kid in Bruce Selden. And I'm looking forward to the matchup. It's going to be a good one. I feel like over this time, I've been able to learn a lot in the ring. I've accumulated 7 wins now. I've been in there 7 times. So with each fight, you learn something new. You want to make sure that the fights are getting a little bit harder. You're being progressed the right way. And I feel like we've now come to this fight with Bruce, which has a lot of build up to it. And, I'm excited. I'm sure he is too. And it's going to be an amazing fight. And I look forward to dominating on June 13th.
Before we get to the specifics of the fight, you mentioned about evolution. The last time you and I talked, you said one of the things that really was a big difference, you started really focusing and zeroing on more your nutrition, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
for you, this time, is there another element of maybe the things that people don't think of? You have a lot of people that might see like people boxing in a gym, right? People might be following you on Instagram, right? Like go stop by a breadwinner. They might see you in the gym. So it's like, what is something that maybe some people don't see? Like you mentioned nutrition last time. What is maybe something as part of the evolution has been involved this time around?
We haven't added anything new. This has definitely been nutrition has been something that's been huge, and I know I touched on that a lot. I've been focusing on that with the last fight as well, because when we spoke on that, that was 2 fights ago. Then I had an amazing fight with an amazing opponent, Rydell Booker, who was a very seasoned opponent. Um, and yeah, the nutrition was great in that fight. We went all 6 rounds. I felt extremely good throughout those 6 rounds. I felt like I was in shape to do another 6 rounds. And that's what I've been focusing on with this fight. As a heavyweight, you want to make sure you're doing all the things that already come with the game. You're getting in your sparring. I'm not huge on sparring, but I've been sparring enough in this camp. Making sure I'm getting my road work in, getting in with my coaches, and focusing on that nutrition. That nutrition has been everything for me. Fueling your body with real food other than cookies has played a major part in this. I feel like I've been in camp since that fight that we've talked. That was in March, and then I fought again in April, and then leading into this fight, I haven't taken any time off. So I feel like I've just been rolling right through, and everyone's gonna see how this camp has been when I put everything on display for everybody on the 13th.
Being that active, has that kind of made it easier for you to stay on point? Like, has that, that rolling from one fight to the next, has that helped you maybe focus a little more, be, maybe on top of your, you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's?
Definitely, 100%. Usually, like the hardest part is those first few weeks back in the gym when you're out of shape and you're trying to get yourself back to that, peak. Um, So the fact that I haven't, felt out of shape at all has been amazing. You definitely don't want to be peaking too early. And I feel like the team that I have around me has been phenomenal with making sure that I'm doing everything the right way. And yeah, I'm excited about it.
Undefeated heavyweight Josh Popper from Holy Spirit High School is joining us here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, Saturday, June 13th. That is where Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, who will be one half of the biggest South Jersey Heavyweight Showdown, him versus Bruce Selden Jr. You mentioned about your opponent and how this is a unique situation, right? You've been on fight cards where you've been with other people who are also from South Jersey, but now you're fighting someone also from South Jersey. And frankly, for those who might not be that familiar, Absagami and Holy Spirit not that far away from each other in proximity of drive. So, for
No,
you walking into this fight, how much of there is there like a familiarity versus like a intrigue for you?
that's a really good question. Me being from Holy Spirit, him being from Gammy, it's funny. We actually played each other in high school football. I didn't know because, not to be disrespectful, but he was a non-factor on the field. We blew them out. I think it was 42-0. So he was a fullback, or I don't know what position he played. He played something in the backfield. We held them to negative rushing yards, and we violated them. So that's going to also be something that is going to be a little passed into the present on June 13th. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. There's always been, rivalries, high school rivalries. So, something I lean into. Bleed blue and gold, Holy Spirit spar until I die. And yeah, so it's funny that I was just recently informed about the fact that we played each other in high school.
I think you were also on the Holy Spirit team that absolutely just destroyed the Bishop Eustace team in the first round of the playoffs. And when you guys made that deep playoff, I think you were on that team too. So that team was pretty stacked. It wasn't just you.
No, 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 no. Definitely wasn't just me. I got to give credit to all the guys: Joe Callahan, Anthony Sarro,
Yep.
Joe Sardinese, Tim Goodwin, Steve Hartley. We were literally there's our running backs, Nigel Jones and Dante Powell. I mean, we were stacked. We were stacked to say the least. But yeah, no, we're gonna continue that a little bit
Yeah.
on June 13th.
Yeah, continue that legacy of Holy Spirit success right over there in the ring. So, what's
Definitely.
interesting also about this fight is you're both undefeated fighters, and that's something that doesn't always happen in the sport of any combat sport, right? Boxing, MMA, whatever people want to watch. There's always somebody that might have a loss somewhere along the way. For you, when someone says to you, "Hey, you're an undefeated fighter," what does that mean to Josh Popper?
It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care about staying undefeated, not having any losses. That's not anything I think of. Obviously, it's I'm not trying to lose, but as far as like staying undefeated and me that being like a focus on what I'm no, my goal is to challenge myself when I get in the ring, make sure that I'm listening to my team and trust the fact that I have a good team around me, take steps up in competition, and my goal is to become world champion. So I feel like I do have the skill set, I have the ability to accomplish that, and I feel like with my team around me that I'm going to do just that. So I'm not worried about records or all that. My goal is to get in there and showcase what I can do. That's it.
You mentioned about the skill set. What is something about your skill set that you don't think you're and I'm not trying to, throw anybody under the bus. Like you said earlier, we're not trying to disparage anybody, but your nickname is the Hammer. Okay. You bring a level of power to the ring that not everyone has seen before. Do you think that might be the biggest element you bring into this fight that maybe he hasn't seen a guy with your kind of power before?
I mean, to be honest with you, he hasn't seen a guy that can do anything I could do. I feel like my biggest attribute is my ability to box. My footwork, my use of my outside boxing, my jab, um, and a lot of things that I haven't even put on camera yet. My ability to fight on the inside. I love fighting on the inside. I already know he's going to try and bring it to me on the inside. He has another thing coming. The angles that I'm going to bring. It's just there's nothing that I can do that he has seen in any of his recent opponents. And I'm sure he's going to want to say the same thing, but like I said, I can't wait for June 13th. I feel like what I do differently is, I have the ability to set up all my shots. I do have more power than any of his opponents, so he's going to get to feel my power. I know he has power himself, but we're going to see who has more power that night, and I'm betting on it that it's going to be me. Also, like I said, my ability to box, the way that I move like a middleweight. So the fact that I'm, able to do what I'm doing at my size, my stature, and also, my IQ. He's never been in the ring with anybody that thinks as well as I do as well. So it's gonna be a great fight. I look forward to dominating from start to finish, whether that's from the outside, whether that's on the inside, showing off my ring IQ, showing off my ability to box, my athleticism, everything.
Again, Saturday, June 13th, Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Josh Popper taking on Bruce Seldon Jr. Again, you do not want to miss the biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history. You just mentioned a couple times about your fight IQ. Let's back up for a minute because
Yep.
people might not know you also are a trainer. You also coach people at Breadwinner. And I think what's interesting is that do you feel like that you as a fighter, how much of you being a coach and a teacher and helping other people, how is that maybe fed into you as a fighter? You mentioned your IQ. Is it just the IQ or is it maybe something else too?
No, I mean, it's definitely everything. I feel like that's why I'm able to, have as much success as I have is my ability to adapt, my ability to, have the ring IQ that I have. And I'm going to touch on that again in a second. But, the fact that, the power that I bring as well. I feel like I'm a finesse kind of fighter. I'm smooth when I'm in the ring. But, touching on the IQ and the fact that I coach as well, like, I coach a few amateurs that are, top ranked in the country. I coach a professional fighter, Emil Yoshida. She is a three-time world champion. Her last belt was obtained under me and Coach Ruben, who also coaches me in my pro career with Jose Guzman. And my ability to coach obviously only helps me while I'm in the ring. I'm breaking down film for my fighters. I'm giving them game plans that lead to success. My fighters love the fact that I have such a, I don't want to give away too much. Just they love my approach on how I break down their opponents. So I feel like that helps me a lot. When I watch film, I'm able to come up with game plans for myself. And obviously, my coaches that I have, they take it to the next level. Um, but yeah, no, I feel like what I do is going to be a very hard challenge for him come June 13th.
Come more for Undefeated Heavyweight Josh Popper again, Saturday, June 13th, Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but I want to circle back to it.
Hmm.
You have a ton of pride going to Holy Spirit High School. There's a level, and it's not just you. There's a lot of people who they go to Holy Spirit. They're Spartans for life. There's a vibe. There's an energy that comes with that. For the uninitiated, for the people who never were around Holy Spirit High School, didn't go to Holy Spirit High School, or didn't play against Holy Spirit High School. What can you tell people what is that feeds into that pride that someone like yourself has about going to Holy Spirit High School?
I mean, that's a wonderful question. Like I said, I bleed blue and gold, and that's because of everything that I learned while I was there, the people I met while I was there, the coaches and what they instilled in me. Um, that was a lot of times people are like, college is going to be the best years of your life. You're going to learn the most. I feel like I learned the most by myself in high school because of what Holy Spirit brought to my attention to, being an athlete. Um, that's why I had so much success when I went to, college. I was able to put on two different NFL helmets because of not from anything that I learned in college. It was from what was instilled in me when I was at Holy Spirit. The pride that I have going there, like I actually recently spoke at my high school, and it was funny because I said something to the students where I always dreamed because even though I got to put on two different helmets, I never made it to the active roster. But I remember I would be standing in my hotel room practicing, looking in front of the mirror like Josh Popper, Holy Spirit High School. And, I didn't even, no disrespect to my university, but that wasn't where I felt like I really made that development. That wasn't where, I learned about myself and learned to have that kind of pride in myself. That wasn't where I learned that competitive nature. I feel like I was challenged the most. I was put in a position where I was forced to be competitive, forced to grow up in a sense, forced to, see the kind of high level competition that so that when I went to my university, it was like, oh, this is easy. Even when I went to the NFL, it reminded me being at the highest level, it reminded me of the same kind of things that were, instilled in me that when I was in high school. So I can't say enough good things about Holy Spirit. Again, I'm a Spartan until I die. what I learned and what I was able to receive at Holy Spirit, I wish for everybody to be able to receive that. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about it.
All right, before I let you go, for everybody listening on 97.3 ESPN, for people who are watching us on my YouTube channel at Josh Hennig, if someone has never seen you fight before, and the first time they come to see you fight is at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, June 13th, what is in store for them when they see Josh Popper throw down that night?
Oh, they're gonna have a new favorite boxer. You're gonna see beautiful, beautiful finesse boxing with somebody with who understands how to move, how to use the ring, somebody who can bang on the inside, somebody who's gonna accept any challenge that's in front of them. And the best part is that I can adapt. I'm happy to fight in any which way. I'm gonna show a bunch of different styles while I'm in there, and yeah, you don't want to blink. It's gonna be a good fight. I hope for everyone listening, you come out, you come see this fight. It's going to be, like you said, the best heavyweight showdown in Atlantic City, especially in quite some time. And yeah, I can't wait for it.